Hello, it's Jenny from Ginger Ninja Crafts. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Long time no see. Well, it's longer for me than for you because I did put a video up last Friday while I was away on my holidays. But I've not made a video for coming up for 2 weeks. So last week we were in Corfu and the weather was very changeable, I must say. Like, we had some thunder, we had a couple of days where it was really wet, lots of rain, but it was much warmer than we've come home to. So I've dug the woolly jumpers out, the shorts are away under the bed and the woolly jumpers are out and the cosy jammies. However, you can't complain, can you? I am here to make a little follow-up video to this one which I made before I went away, where I had made a little journal for the Pink Bubble Cards alphabet, and they are so simple to do, but there was a couple of people asked if I could just show how I made it, so I thought I would do that and make a little baby one. And I think it was Irene, lovely Irene, who suggested it could sit in the pocket. I love that idea. So what I'll just tell you, obviously this was a larger paper bag that I used for this journal, and inside I have used a selection of different papers. So I've got some lined paper, some graph paper, some random book pages, I'll come back to that one, some vellum. I've also put another paper bag in the middle, so there's another little pockety bit there, and it's got a little tuck there. That's a bit of a recipe book. More graph paper and lined paper, a bit of Ordnance Survey map, and it was torn, so I've added a bit of patterned paper to sort of reinforce it, and I made that into like a little pocket down that way. More lined paper, more vellum, and then obviously it's the same on the back, but I wonder if I've got any more sort of tuck spots. So that's the other bit of that pocket there. This one I folded over a little bit, so there's a vertical pocket. The other bit of that paper bag. This is a bit out of it was a little birthday book. Now, because this is, it's not a big journal, but it's quite wide when it's opened. So like my stripy pages, actually that's vellum. But the stripy pages are in with the stripes going up and down that way. Now that doesn't upset me, but I'm sure it would upset some people. It would upset somebody's OCD maybe. So what I did was I just trolled through. I've got a stack of like notepads, books, different kinds of papers that I've collected over the while, and just pulled out a few different ones. Now what I'm going to do today is make a little one, because I bought these lunch bags, I think on eBay. I've got a pile of them because I didn't really think of the measurements. I don't think this is big enough for anybody's lunch. It's not big enough for mine, but anyway, it would make a cute little journal. So I'm going to show you the process, and I'm going to make it a simpler one. But what I'm going to do is take my guillotine, because at the end here you'll see it's a bit kind of crinkle cut, and I'm just going to trim the very edge of that so that it's a flat edge. It's a bit oh, it didn't do a very good job, did it? Excellent work, Jenny. So I'm just going to cut that line that I already cut, like so. So it looks a bit neater, and it's a wee bit more, less likely to tear, I think, that sort of edge. Right, that is that. So what I'm going to do now is just fold it in half, vertically, horizontally. So fold that in half and crease it down the middle. Now, I am going to do a wee bit of measuring, but it'll just depend on what size your bag is. That's one of the benefits of these, is you don't need to worry about anybody else's measurements. It really is very easy. So I've got, when this is going to be closed up, I'm going to have this pocket as at the front, and then at the back, I think rather than chop off this base, I'm just going to kind of glue that down and make it like a little pocket. So that's what that's going to be like. And because this is so small, I'm not going to faff about with loads of different kinds of papers and things. I'm just going to use some lined paper, and this is a bit of an old, slightly yellowing notepad. So what I want to think about is what size are my pages going to be. So it measures 9, so I think I'm going to go for about an 8. It's 9 centimetres tall. I'm going to go for 8 so that it sits snugly within. And then I'm going to measure the length of it is 17.7, I would say. So what I'll maybe just go with is, I think I'm going to go 16.5. So it's going to be, the pages are going to be 8 centimetres tall by just over 8 centimetres across. So because that is, this notepad is 21 centimetres, I can have my lines horizontal. So it could be like a little notebook is what I'm saying. So what I'm going to do is take a couple of pages from this, and I'm going to cut it down the side so that I've got pieces that are 16.5 centimetres wide. Let's see, so 16.5 centimetres. So I'll keep that, never know what I might use it for. Might use it for something, might just leave it lying around for a while. So I've got 2 sheets like that, and I'm going to cut 8 centimetre high panels. So let's start from the bottom, because obviously the top has got that wide bit and the bottom doesn't really, so if I don't really want a big massive gap at the top of the page. So 8 centimetres. Now, what I tend to do in these things is stuff them too full of pages. And then when you start using it, it's a bit too chunky. So that's, how many pages is that? 6. And I might do a little bit more. So 16.5 across. 8. 8. 8. So as I say, you could use a variety of pages, but just for the purpose of this little tutorial, I'm just all gonna go with these lined ones, but you could do anything you like. You could do blank, you could do tea stained. Okay, so I think that's a dozen sheets of paper. That is probably enough. Now, I am going to sew them in. So for that, I am going to use embroidery thread. First of all, I'm going to cut myself a piece. So this was the side strip, and I'm going to measure it at 8 centimetres tall and show you how easy it is to make your holes so they're nice and equal. So this is 8 centimetres tall. That is the same as your signature, is that what you call it? And I'm going to fold it vertically down the middle. Okay, then I'm going to fold it so I've got a crease vertically. Then I'm going to take the bottom up to the top line, and then again the bottom up to the top. So when you open it up, you've got the line down the middle, and then you've got the middle across the way and quarters basically. So I'm going to mark that with a pen so that it's a bit easy to see. So I've just drawn 3 crosses. Now, for the next bit, you're going to need something sharp. I just use my pokey tool. You're going to need some clips to hold everything in place. So I've got these that are like, I think they're for sewing, or if you've got bulldog clips, or even at a push, some good sturdy paper clips that really hold it in place. So we're going to line it up. Okay, so I'm just lining it up so that the crease in the signature matches up with the crease in the notebook, and it's kind of sitting in the middle, so you've got the same sort of gap at either side. And then I'm going to pop these clippies on. And then I'm going to take this little guide and put that in the middle. And I'm going to clip that there, and have I got another wee clip somewhere? I don't know what I've done with all my clips. I used to have a few of them. Oh, I see it. I've got this one as well. Okay, so this is all now clipped into place. So you've got your signatures, you've got your guide for your holes, and you've got your cover, the paper bag cover. And then you're going to take your sharp implement and poke through the centre of these 3 crosses. Now, I did used to have a little like foamy mat thing that I used to stab. I don't know what I've done with that. Never pays for me to tidy up because then I can't find things. So, I'm not showing you this, but I'm sure you get the idea. It's probably safer to do it into a little mat because then you're not going to grab your finger. Now, can you see there's 3 holes there? 3 holes on the inside. Now, I don't need this guide in place anymore, so I've just removed this little guide, put the clips back into place, and now I'm going to sew it up. So easy. I'm going to use one of these. It is a yarn needle apparently, and I'm going to use some embroidery thread because I do cross stitch and I've got it usually lying around, and I'm just going to use some that I have already this bag was a bag for a project, so there's kind of bits that I've already taken off. That's not long enough. Maybe I will use this colour. So I'm going to take my needle, I'm going to take my embroidery thread. I think I've probably taken a couple of strands off this, so it's like 4 strands, but you could use baker's twine or wool or whatever you fancy really. So I've just grabbed this. I want my ends to be on the outside of my journal because I'm going to tie it on the outside, so that means I need to start on the outside, and I'm going to poke it through the middle hole and just pull and leave a kind of longish edge, and then I'm going to leave however long you want really. I mean, you might want to put some beads on there. You're certainly going to need enough to tie a nice bow and probably do a double or triple knot to keep it nice and secure. You might want to leave enough that you can put some beads on it or whatever you think. I always like to leave a little bit more, hooked it around my thing, than I think I'm going to need, because you know. So see what I've done? I started in the middle, I've done to one side, now I'm on the outside again. I'm going to go back in that middle hole. I don't think there's any exact way to do this, maybe there is, but this is what I do. I go then to the other side, pull that out, and then back in the middle hole. So I've done it like that and like that. Then, whoops, I'm going to repeat. So I'm going to go back up to the top, pull back to the middle. Just want to do it a few times so that it feels nice and sturdy and strong. The nice thing about using embroidery thread is you get lots of different colours, so you can find something that matches in with your papers or whatever you like really. Okay, so that's me gone. Those. Now what I might do is just go from the top to the bottom. I would say the only fiddly bit is just making sure that your holes that you're sewing through are dead on the crease in the middle, because if they're slightly off, then it just looks a wee bit kind of, it folds a bit funny. So then I've done the whole length there, and then I'm just going to go in and do the top, the middle to the top, and the are a bit of a hindrance, but anyway. Okay, so that's that one. This one. And then once you've done this, really, it's up to you to decorate it however you would like. The world is your oyster. Okay. So I usually come out the same middle hole again at the back to end it. Okay, like so. And then I take my needle off. I cut myself a decent kind of edge. Put that back in there before the cats can try and eat it. So just to show you now, I've got both ends on the outside. I've got the middle nice and neatly sewn, and then I'm just going to tie a knot and tie a little bow. I am not very neat with bows. I'm going to double up with that. Can you hear the brain noises as I try and see what I'm doing with this? There we go. So that is now tied. So now I can take my clips off. Hopefully that is all nicely in place. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick some papers on the front, and I would also do them inside, and that just reinforces your bag. So I've already cut a couple of panels there. So I've just cut it and done the corners at the outside edges and left that so it matches in with the same style as that one. You see I did the same. And then I've got one on the back, and I did a wee bit of inking, so just using my trusty wet glue. I mean, you definitely could use double-sided tape or whatever, but I definitely find wet glue gives you a longer last. For me, it's once it's stuck, it's stuck. So let me see, is this the front? Yes. So I'm just going to glue that on. And again, you just have to measure it as to what's going to sit nicely within the size of your paper bag journal. And then on the other side. So this one's got no pockets or tucks or anything on these pages. It is very much just like a little notebook, but what I think I'll probably do is add a few little stamped bits on the corners in a sort of subtleish colour, and obviously you want some sort of focal image or word on the front of your little journal. But so cute. So we've got the little one, see, and that is, I kept going with the pages, and actually once it is stuck in, it's a wee bit, it's going to sit like that, isn't it? But yes, so thank you to Irene for the idea that I could it inside. Or maybe at the back. It's so cute. So yes, it's a journal in a journal. Maybe I could have an even smaller one that sits in this pocket. That would be ridiculous. What I will do now is I'm going to put a little bit of glue just at the top and the bottom here to make that into a little pocket. To literally just leave them there, and because I'm impatient, I'll clip them shut, and then I'll do a little, what size of cover would I like for that? 5 by just under 8.5. I've got a bit of paper somewhere. This is the same as the front cover. So let me do just 8.5, just under. 5. I'll do a little punched corner because I don't know, I sort of think it kind of brings things together if you follow the same sort of format for that, but and a wee bit of ink there. I'll just glue this in place. So now that's your little pocket at the back. I could, you know, you can stick something, not too big. Stick that in there. There you go. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. It is dead easy. So if you managed to sit through all of that, well done. What should you say in the comments if you managed to sit through the whole thing? Pumpkin. Mention a pumpkin. There is no pumpkins. Well, there is some little ones on the paper, but use the word pumpkin in your comments and I'll know that you watched through to the end. And if you didn't manage to, it's fine. I completely understand. But yeah, for people who wanted a wee tutorial, there you go. So now it just needs decorated, and I also need to start putting more mushroomy things in here. I watched a video, I've been trying to catch up on some of the videos that I missed when I was away, and I watched Andrea's video last night where she's made one for a sort of autumn theme, and hers looks beautiful. She's done some like faux stitching around the side, around the outside of her front cover, and that looks really effective as well. So yeah, definitely check out Angela's channel. I'll link that video below so that you can find it easily. And yeah, thank you so much. If you have enjoyed the video, please leave me a comment and hit that like, and if you're new to my channel, hit subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Bye now.